7 hours and 39 minutes of remaining drive time.
Oh, I think I just ran over that damn chipmunk.
R.I.P. Chipmunk. Should have got out the way.
Oh, he might have made it.
No, they fast, so he probably got out there.
Hey, I need to know if you got a hold of Gina and if Kiana is playing her own team, Holly's girlfriend. I need to know. Give me a call back. Bye.
After that, like?
No, not yet. But she says, I said, I'm putting my ETA, so hopefully they have something for me, so I'm not just sitting out there once I get unloaded. She said, no, they're working on it. She said, they're talking to you. She said, because when they tried to send you home on the 28th, I was like, no, that's too early. And then they tried to send you home on the 29th. So she said the planners have been talking back and forth. One was like, well, it's too early to send her home. And she's like, well, that's all I got. She said, okay, we'll send her up here, but I got something for who could probably send her back.
As long as they talk, as long as we're in the conversation.
That's what I told her. I told her, I said, I don't know if it's, you talk about, they talk about, I don't know if it's good or it's bad. She said it's bad. She said that means they're trying to get you home on the time that you're supposed to be home. And I said, I don't mind the extra miles.
How's that bad, though?
Oh, probably talk about how I'm a pain in the ass, maybe?
That ain't bad.
No, well, on the planner side, it's not bad. She said that, she said that they've been trying to figure out a way. She said, because one planner was like, you send her up north, and then I'll have something for her. Because the lady was like, that's why they were trying to get us, when we had dropped off that load yesterday, they were going to leave us there. She was like, no, it's way too early. We're talking about it's Tuesday. You want to send her home on Wednesday? That's 2 days early. She said, that means she's going to be off for like 5 days. That's too long. So, and now she was like, okay, well, fine. And then she said, I haven't, so, Brandon was like, I told her, send her to LA and back. Send her to Phoenix and back. And that was when the one lady said, no, I have something up north. You send her up north and I'll give her, I'll get her something back down. So she said that she believes that the planner is trying to work on something up north that goes straight to Vegas. Which it might end up being that damn load that got canceled that's supposed to be at Sierra Pacific.
Where was that going?
Straight to Vegas.
Where was that at? You don't know?
No, that was in Modesto. Remember off of Finch Road, we went there and we sat there?
Yeah.
And there was another guy who was ahead of me, and he said, yep, I'm going to Las Vegas, the Kroger. I told him, I said, I'm going there. I said, it's either a new facility or they sure don't know.
Right.
And then remember, the other load that we had was also going down to Las Vegas to the same distributors, Kroger.
Right.
Because we were supposed to pick up a load, drop it in Lathrop, and pick up a load that was in Lathrop, and then take it all the way down to Vegas. And there were 2 Las Vegas pet loads. So I don't know. So I told her, I said, well, I have a total of 28 hours. I said 8 up there, that gives me 20 hours. Over the next 2 days, I should have ample time to be able to drop off the load tomorrow when I pick up 6 hours, and I pick up 10 to be able to make it home to make the delivery on Friday. And now that I know my appointment is at 1 o'clock, I'm not too stressed out, because even if I'm still attached to a load, can still go ahead and do the draft.
Yeah.
Drop the load, and then I, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully it's not 10 o'clock in the morning. Because, I mean, if we'll get there at 9 o'clock, and I'll be looking while I'm doing my damn draft.
Yeah.
But we can't take this white ass load, Vegas, because these loads that's coming out of the fucking pepper place is gonna be heavy as shit. I think I have one more pack of cigarettes, right?
Yes.
Oh my god, I can't wait to get out of this shit. Oh, this can't stop the traffic today.
You know what's crazy? Today Wednesday, right? Wednesday is the day we get the most views. And that's hump day. Everybody's supposed to be at work.
Go back home.
Maybe everybody at work watching YouTube
Okay. Thought everybody was at home hungry.
on hump day. Maybe.
I think I saw that on a bucket. Laffy Taffy. What is Campbell's favorite day of the week?
Hump day. It was a commercial out there.
Oh, you know, this sure was.
Like, hump day.
It was a cartoon camel, right?
Is that a Wagoneer? They make the Cherokees look kind of like the Wagoneer.
pulled over. She said, "Hi. Oh, did you get?" She said, "Did you get something?" Stuff. I said, "I did." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, on the loaded call that I sent you, I said it had 0 on there." She's like, "I didn't send another one." I said, "I do." I said, "But you told me the first one I sent had a Y on there, but on my side it has a 0 on there." I said, "I hope I don't get in trouble with the shipper at -10 start stop." She said, "That's what customer service said." I said, "That's why I put on there per your instructions." I said, "So if anybody gonna get in trouble, that's gonna be on customer service. I do what I'm told." She said, "Yep." She said, "I do too."
Out on the quarterback run or value fall few at receiver or running back. You take a tight end in the first few rounds, you happen to wait on your quarterback. Jaden Daniels is fine as your QB1. And often it happens in round 9, round 10.
Yep, I'm with you. Don't I love that you had to get that in there though. That Jaden Daniels you couldn't draft because someone took him as a second quarterback. But I'm with you because you should not, if you're looking at getting a second quarterback in a league like that, where out of the GS2 league, for people that don't know, it's a lot of teams, it's a lot of rounds. So we went out and got Kirk Cousins, but those are the guys that you go and target. You don't want to waste it. Not that it's wasting, but you don't want to waste a pick on Jaden Daniels when you already have Jalen Hurts. You could be getting another good wide receiver, another good running back, and so we waited for Kirk. Other guys, maybe Geno Smith. We had some questions on that at KValensWayList17 at Adam Ronas on Twitter. But your guy, Will Levis, that's the one that you can get towards the end of drafts and just say, okay, if this quarterback goes down, I'll still at least have Will Levis. That's the kind of thing that we're looking for. But yeah, with Jaden Daniels, again, I'm just shocked. You'll hear me say it probably until the season starts. But a QB7 projection at FantasyLife.com, ESPN ADP of QB12, it looks like we have him projected for 122 rushing attempts. And let me just throw this stat at you. 15 of 16 quarterbacks to rack up 125 plus carries in a season. They've gone on to post top 12 numbers in fantasy points per game, including 11 top 5 finishes. So it's the rushing upside. We understand he might not be great at passing yet. He just might not be a very good real life NFL quarterback. But for fantasy, when we have someone like that's able to run like he was in college, it's just something you kind of want to take advantage of. So a super solid pick if you're going to go out and get any quarterback and you miss on those top 5, top 6, especially the dual threat quarterbacks that we've talked about. You can wait and go get Jaden Daniels. The other one that I wanted to talk about, we've got a few here, but we're going through fantasy football projections versus average draft positions. Let's talk here for a second. Let me just get your thoughts on Javonte Williams in the Broncos backfield, because again, Javonte it was like the Michael Scott, the snip snap. We were going back and forth. Adam, do you watch it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure. But we were going back and forth. We were saying that he might be a cut candidate, but no, he made the team obviously. And we're going to talk a little bit about Samaje Perine here in the water cooler. But Javonte Williams projected RB19, FantasyLife.com, ESPN ADP RB28. Are you closer to the RB19 or the RB28 assessment of him?
Closer to 19, not quite that high, but he is a guy that the opinion has changed on, because we looked into early in the offseason, as you mentioned, there was talk about him
like
for
somebody.
making the team. Some of his reports, that's why we have to be really careful. Then they said he looks really good. And we know the pedigree he had coming out of college and had the terrible injury. It didn't look right last year. And now the reports are he looks really good. So I don't have him, but I have moved him up the draft board. I am absolutely open to taking him. And we've seen under Sean Payton, there's value with these running backs. He is going to use multiple running backs, and that's why Jaleel McLaughlin solid as well. But you have to feel a lot better about Javonte Williams. And there were people who were getting him at a bargain over a month ago, 3 weeks ago. He has moved up, but it's still not extremely pricey. 7th, 8th round, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. And like we said, Javonte is, now 2 seasons removed. He was leading the NFL in total missed tackles force, and then he had the knee injury that was so devastating, and it just took him a while to come back from. So, again, our projections, it looks really good for Javonte Williams. So if you're looking for a running back, especially if you're drafting ESPN Yahoo, and you want to, again, wait for one of those running backs that could come up and make an impact on your team, I really like Javonte Williams. And it's true. It's one that beginning a couple months ago, if you asked me, it was like, no, it was Jaleel McLaughlin, it was Audric Esime, and it still is, Adam. Let me just say that. I'm still drafting Jaleel McLaughlin. I like the potential there, and he's someone where you can get later in drafts. You don't have to spend a super high draft pick on him. But, this Broncos backfield could be one, again, where we look back and say, wow, we probably should have taken more Javonte, probably should have taken more Jaleel McLaughlin, but I'm excited to just see Javonte Williams. And I'm with you. I'm closer to the, not necessarily RB19, but RB, in the 25 range compared to the RB, what is it, 30, 22? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I don't have any. I do have some drafts left, still going to schedule. I feel like I'm trying to scale, not do too much and be too aggressive.
Yeah, we always say that.
But I feel like I want to draft every night now until the start of the season. I'm trying to refrain because those waiver wires on Tuesday and Wednesday.
It'd be brutal.
Yeah, a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but that's why we love it. You should. I'm drafting tonight. I've got a draft tonight, and then I've got two on Monday, one on Saturday. You're not gonna stop. You're gonna do like 5 more.
I am planning to schedule at least 2 more. I have my home league draft Saturday morning.
Okay. Are they beat Adam Ronis leagues?
I am trying to get potentially 1 more.
Oh, okay. Let the people know. I've been asked so many times how people join that league. So we'll let people know. They want to beat Adam Ronis. That's what they want to do.
Just jump in. Don't be scared. Everyone says they want to join, and then when it comes down to it, they're a little slow to hit the submit on join.
Stop it. Our ESPN league filled up fast too.
It did. Actually, yeah. You were surprised. You're like, I had it already.
I know I had it set to start today, and you were like, we should just start it, Tuesday. And I said, you said it's filled already. So that was exciting. So we'll continue to go through ESPN leagues and how that draft's going. If you guys want to check that out, though, ESPNleagues.com is where you go and you can create a private league. That's what we've done, and it's just a super fun, different way to draft this season. And like you said, you can do best ball formats, so you don't have to set a lineup for that. And I'm hoping that every single one that I've joined now has the best ball format, because I did not check before I joined them, Adam, and it could be tough for those waiver wires as well. That's okay.
There's still waiver wire though, even in the best ball one, I believe.
Yes, there's still waivers, but you don't have to set a lineup necessarily, because it'll take the most points, right?
I like that. Yeah, I prefer that.
Yeah, and then you got the waiver wire, yeah, all that good stuff. Okay, now I promise Brad Evans is joining. I was just a little bit too excited, but we are so happy to be having him. We are going to talk about his favorite players to draft right now. We're going to do that coming up next.
It's the dawning of a new era in college football. And as schools fight to participate in the 12-team college football playoff, you'll hear all the biggest games on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app. And was one of the craziest games I've seen. Favorite game day on college sports radio. Channel 8 with our roster of experts, including Danny Cadell, Jacob Hester, and Ricky Weisel. This is what college football fans have been clamoring for. To find your game, go to SiriusXM.com/college football schedule or search for your school Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-381-4183. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-381-4183. That's 800-381-4183 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-381-4183 or biglou.com. 800-381-4183 or biglou.com.
Text and enroll even recurring automated marketing text messages consent not required to purchase. Message data rates may apply.
Including new this season? I think so.
Man, I miss playing football. Being young, unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you can make lower testosterone?
What do you mean? Well, guys lose their edge when they turn 40. Body has less testosterone.
That's why I take Eugenics Total T.
I've heard about eugenics. That really works.
Since I started taking Eugenics, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text STAY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermal X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text STAY to 42424. That's STAY to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Terrell Owens, and you're listening to Sirius XM's Fantasy Sports Radio, the home of fantasy sports. The same smooth you get from your road with a young soul, silky grooves, and reframed rhythms of the late 70s and early 80s from Luther. Bobby Caldwell. What you want to and more. Young soul year-round in the Sirius XM and Dr. for a limited time at Channel 105 Almost Radios. XM Fantasy Sports Radio.
Wednesday, Kendall Valenzuela, Adam Ronas with you, and we are so excited to be joined by the one and only Brad Evans, talking everything fantasy football. Brad, welcome into the show. How's it going?
It's the greatest time of the year, and I am right now trying to decipher the disastrous backfield of the Dallas Cowboys. So pray for me as I'm trying to pen some poetic words about how just ugly.
You can talk to Adam about it. He loves it. He got a new Dalvin Cook jersey. He's ready to go. They're going to win the Super Bowl. He's so excited.
Well, good speed to you, Ronas, if that is the case.
No, it's not. I am a Cowboys fan, but I am not optimistic on this season at all. And so what's your reaction to this from a fantasy perspective? We've seen Rico Dowdle move up a little bit, sometimes past Ezekiel Elliott. Dalvin Cook comes in. Are you changing the way you look at the backfield? Does it get murky because we see Cook get some touches? Or are you saying, no, you like either Dowdle or Zeke still?
Look, here's how I'm going to handicap the guys, and I'm going to post this on the GamingJuice.com a little bit later today. I got Rico Dowdle for around 13 to 15 touches per game. I think he is going to be the clubhouse leader in this backfield, and look at the advanced metrics. They're very supportive of that from last season. He led all the guys involved right now in this backfield in yards into contact per attempt with a decent number of 2.91. Not a terrible missed tackle rate as well. So I think he's a guy with some flexi safety appeal in 12-team and deeper leagues. I think Zeke's going to get around probably 8 to 12 touches per game. Most of those coming at the goal line. Now, remember last season, he was quite effective as a pass catcher with the Patriots. Caught 51 balls in that offense, was top 12 as well in yards per route run. But I think, you saw the videos early on in training camp. He was doing that arm tackle drill and then went off to the sideline and put his hands on his knees, and it looked like me after about 3 plays of turkey Super Bowl football during Thanksgiving. So that was not encouraging. But I think he's a guy who's looking to get around 6 to 8 touchdowns this season. Dalvin Cook, a complete late round flyer. You can have him, waiting on the free agent pool in 12-team leagues, in my opinion. A guy that looked like he is very much knocking the door of 30 years old a season ago. Horrendous advanced analytics, though, in a horrendous situation with the New York Jets. I pump the brakes on him. I think he'll be active once he catches up to speed. Maybe 5 to 8 carries per game. And then you got Deuce Vaughn as well, where that equation will be largely inactive week to week unless the injury becomes abiding. So that's how I'm handicapping, again, this disgusting Dallas running back situation.
I was going to say, it's totally not messy at all. It's exactly what we want for fantasy football, Brad. It's perfect. So appreciate the breakdown. You've got another article, though, live at, you said, thegamingjuice.com. I want to talk to you about Kyren Williams. We have not mentioned this yet in the show, so if anyone didn't see, it looks like he's going to be returning punts for the Los Angeles Rams. You've got Sean McVay coming out and saying it's another opportunity for him to get touches and impact the game. But what's your fantasy football takeaway from that?
Yeah, look, I had to downgrade him almost instantaneously. I think some people are overreacting to the downgrade. I've seen people saying, well, he's not even an RB2 anymore. I think that's a little bit too strong. It's forceful based on recent events. I think he's going to be more than probably the RB15, RB20 range when it's all said and done. Blake Corum is ascending northward. There's no question about it. A guy that we've seen him with the shimmy and shake. He's well built, short and squat in the ground. Gravity, a guy that can easily on the backfield. We saw that at the University of Michigan coming off that meniscus tear. So some of the advanced data was down for him as a result. He was outside the top 200 among all FBS backs in his tackle rates and also in yards after contact per attempt. But I saw him throughout his entire career in Michigan. I'm a University of Illinois fan, sadly. This is why I drink. I've seen the shimmy and shake that he does possess when he's firing on all cylinders. Remember, he didn't play a single snap in the preseason, so they think very highly of him. And the guy is going to get out of the gate in week numero uno with the Rammies taking on Day 12 on the road on the prime time line. So Sunday Night Football, probably at least, I would say, 10 to 12 carries in that game. An effective pass catcher as well. So Kyren Williams, yes, downgrade him, but also keep in mind, according to Fantasy Football Toolbox, the Rams have the 11th easiest fantasy strength of schedule for running backs this year. So his value is not completely gone, to say the least.
Sticking with the Rams, Cooper Kupp is rising up draft boards. He's 31 years old, coming off injuries the last 2 years, but reports are he's looked really good. Puka Nacua dealing with that knee issue. How optimistic are you on Kupp returning his value for where I've seen him go in the second round now?
Oh, fill up thy cup, guys. Must tequila pour report. I will say this. I moved Kupp up in kind of a bullish.
So there's
he was consistently like a wide receiver 19 in ADP data that was out there earlier on during the fantasy football draft season. Over last month, that's obviously been steadily rising. He's like wide receiver 16 at most locales from what I have seen. I got him even higher at wide receiver 11. So yes, I'm buying in to the news, hook, line, and a sinker. He's going to finally healthy. I think he was dealing with all kinds of nicks and scrapes with the ankle issue last year, among other physical setbacks. That impacted his offseason as well last year. Didn't have any of that this year. So he's a guy that is motivated. He's out to prove to the masses, hey, I still got it. And let's not forget, even though he had an injury short in 2022, he was still
being in a damn
points
container.
per game on a PPR basis, and he was, of course,
Probably
the
expired
clubhouse
by now,
leader
buddy.
in fantasy points per game in 2021. He's ancient.
Really?
He's only 31 years old. I know he's on the wrong side, but he's been pounding the protein shakes, and it's looking like he's got the burst and the tacky hands once again. He is going to be a fixture in this
October 28th.
offense, and dare I say, he may catch 100 balls this year.
I like that. That's why we got you on here, Brad. We're talking with Brad Evans, but no one knew yet. The incredible Brad Evans giving us his NFL hot takes for the season. Brad, is there someone on the other side of this? Is there a player you're lower on than consensus? Someone you're saying, hey, everyone should pump the brakes a little bit. We're kind of going overboard here.
Yeah, it seems like people are just head over heels in love with some of the rookie wide receivers that are out there. And I think to an extent where they're buying on the bull and not the bear. Let me put it in perspective for you. Marvin Harrison Jr. right now, his ADP is a wide receiver 9. Look, I love the talent. I love the kid. I love the pedigree, obviously. In Arizona, this just in, I think it's down 20-0 in every single game this season because that defense is arguably going to be at the bottom barrel of the NFL. And you get Kyler Murray, the Docs in the desert, back, screwing all the legs and making plays with the arm as well. But wide receiver 9, I think it's going to be more wide receiver 18 or wide receiver 20 within that range. So much lower than what you're paying for right now in average fantasy drafts. And I think the same applies to Malik Neighbors. Another uber talented wide receiver. I love this skill set. We've seen some of the catches in practice, maybe a couple that we saw, of course, in the NFL preseason. But Daniel Jones is his quarterback. The backup there is Drew Lock. Both those guys royally suck. I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. He may have 140 targets, but he may only catch like 10 passes. And of course, that's an exaggeration. But again, based on the EDP, it's wide receiver 21 right now. You're buying at the utmost price. I say pass. There are better options that are out there within that range and better discounts available for fantasy purposes.
Still no news on Brandon Ayuk. You're drafting tonight. What are you doing with him and the other 49ers skill players?
A hard pass, to be honest, on Ayuk. He's at wide receiver 19, wide receiver 20 for me. And, you know, that's approximately where he's going in terms of the ADP, a little bit higher in some cases. But, yeah, it's a great unknown. Now, if he slips, and he might, in a fantasy draft, you never know, you get into a room, whether physically or virtually, with a bunch of strangers. They all there. That guy, yeah, he's got a severe cold. I don't want to catch it. I'm going to say a hard pass on him for right now. No thank you, because I want to be hugging my Kleenex box for the next week. But, you know, you may be hugging it if you do draft him with the tears are streaming down your cheeks and not in a joyful way this season. You know, I think the ripple effects within the San Francisco offense, obviously it'll boost Deebo Samuel's target share immensely if he is indeed no longer part of this team or for some reason is still holding out in the start of the regular season. But as you know, we saw with CeeDee Lamb, guys aren't going to miss game checks. They're just not. Jamar Chase is going to sign on the dotted line. I'm very confident that here in short order he's already practicing this week. So once real money is involved and in play, these guys are going to be like, man, I ain't going to sacrifice that. No way I'm going to surrender that. I'll go out there, even if I half-ass it, I'm going to collect my money and I'm going to get paid in the end. Now, Ayuk, we shall see. Will it remain with the Niners? Is he going to go to Washington? Is he going to go to Pittsburgh? That's TBD. But there will be some major ripple effects if he winds up in a different zip code. That'll stretch across George Kittle, Deebo's value, and the CMC football factor in terms of a pass-catch basis as well.
We're talking with Brad Evans. Brad, before we let you go, where can people find your work? Where can we find your articles? You know, where are you at right now?
Well, I got a brand new show coming to the Odyssey app on Big QL starting on Tuesday called Bet and Camp Tonight. You want to tune in? It's going to be fun. It's going to be fast-paced. It's going to be absolutely idiotic in the best way possible with myself and Ryan Horvath. 4 hours, Monday through Friday. The Tuesday next week is our debut, so check that out. And go to the gamingjuice.com right now. I'm right there every single day, and do you pay a dime? Hells to the no, you're not, because I get stuff wrong continuously. So go to gamingjuice.com right now if you're into fantasy football or the sports betting arts.
Awesome. Well, Brad, we appreciate it so much, you joining us. We'll have to get you back on during the regular season. We're going to continue going through fantasy football projections, going through average draft positions, and comparing them coming up next.
Jimmy Buffett fans have their favorite island escape music. Thoughts and reflection.
Sound Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the RxMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include risk of thyroid C some tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Did you know thousands of men are losing weight with GLP-1 prescription medications? JoinRexMD.com has made the process to get these GLP-1 prescriptions fast and easy, with free delivery right to your door. Here's how it works. Visit JoinRexMD.com to check your eligibility. If appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship a GLP-1 medication that's right for you based on your weight loss goals. Listen to what guys are saying.
Probably the easiest thing I've ever done. And I've lost 20 pounds already. Changed my life. I was seeing results without a forced diet change. I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
Guys, if you're ready to lose weight, check your eligibility for insurance coverage right now at JoinRexMD.com. That's JoinRexMD.com.
At Sling TV, we'd like to know, do you want to take your love of college football to the next level? Does a bulldog bark and a duck quack and a longhorn, moo? With Sling, you get access to hundreds of games and the biggest networks offer the best price. Go with the obvious choice, streaming the games you love and saving on them too. That's taking your fandom to the next level. Visit Sling.com and start watching live. The college football you love, the live TV you love. Sling.
This is former fantasy football superstar Torrey Holt. Who's the next Torrey Holt of fantasy football? The answers are right here. Fantasy Sports Radio.
You dominate your home office and family leagues every year. Now it's time to take your game to the next level. The FFPC is the place to play fantasy football this summer. No salary caps, no DFS, no new formats to learn, just the pure drafting fun that you've always loved. FFPC is home to now one of $2 million grand prizes. Draft in the FFPC main event or shoot for a second $1 million grand prize in the FPC Championship today. Lead your teams to victory and chase down those seven-figure payouts, or check out FFPC's best ball tournaments, dynasty leagues, and exclusive contests. Drafts are filling every single day at myffpc.com/radio. And when you go to myffpc.com/radio, you get $25 off your first team. That's myffpc.com/radio. Begin your pursuit of millions today and get $25 off your first team. Win $1 million at myffpc.com/radio.
Yep.
The bag ain't did it.
Oh, you text on the bag?
The bag ain't did it. Nobody.
Fantasy football is life. And this is Fantasy Life on Fantasy Sports Radio.
This is Fantasy Life, SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio. Kendall Valenzuela, Adam Ronis with you today. At Valenzuela17 at Adam Ronis. I can't believe the season's almost here, Adam. It feels like we just started this show. We just
That's when I started yesterday.
We said it was going by quickly. It goes by quickly when you have fun. But we're almost there.
It really does. Yeah, a week from tomorrow. It's still hard to believe because we still have drafts left. That's why we're not in lineup setting mode just yet. We will have waivers to run in many of our leagues early next week. And there could be some players out there, especially if you did a draft 2-3 weeks ago, a month ago, or Scott Fishbowl in early July, even though that's a very deep league. Could be a few players out there. That's always an important waiver wire run too. I think a lot of people overlook it. They might forget because you're still drafting. Don't miss it because it's important.
I haven't even looked at my Scott Fishbowl team. I need to see, you know what, this is a really good team though. I'm looking at it.
I have a ton of injuries in that league.
Do you? Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like, no. Oh, you know what? They're bench guys, but I kind of do. Keaton Mitchell was placed on the pup list, which is kind of okay if people want to wait the 4 weeks. Kendrick Bourne also going to start the season on pup, so we'll miss 4 games. Ooh, my tight ends are not good in this league. And you know what's funny is that it's a tight end premium.
Yeah, I have 4 tight ends, but most of them, yeah, Mark Andrews, Dulcich, Gesicki, and Jatavian Sanders.
Why'd you drop 4 tight ends if you got... No, what?
Yeah, why not? It's
I don't know.
22 rounds, no kickers, no... Well, there are kickers, I didn't take any. There are people that do. There are people that
I thought
draft
we had
kickers,
to.
too.
She always act like she don't know what the hell
Did
he's
you
talking
draft on
about.
Sleeper?
Yeah.
I believe that's why. I heard something which doesn't make sense to me. This
She
is an
always
overall
like, what?
tournament. On Sleeper, you were required to draft a kicker. I heard someone else say that. I'm on
I think
myfantasy.com.
Oh, she just be reacting to the news
Because I
and
think
each
it blocks
other.
out, like it wouldn't let you go check out the wide receivers or the running backs. It blocked it out where you had to take
crazy.
kicker, if I remember correctly. This
Well, I
was 15.
lost Rondale Moore for the year. Thought that he might get some kick on returns. He lost. Boston Scott was cut. Thought he might get kick returns for the Rams. And Deonta Foreman, who I believe will still sign. There's a chance he does sign with the Browns again, that they bring him back.
The one that's looking really nice right now, and again, we don't want injuries, but with Jonathan Brooks starting the season on PUP, I actually do have Chuba Hubbard, and I've got Devin Singletary as well. I don't have a lot of depth though in the running back room. Antonio Gibson, and then like I said, Keith Mitchell.
I have Jalen Warren and Marshawn Boyd banged up. Good thing I have Bijan Robinson and Derrick Henry, and then I have a lot of receivers.
I think Jalen Warren's supposed to be good to go for week one though. He said that.
That is true.
How truthful that is, I don't know, or how much they're going to have him in there, I don't know, because you know what they don't want to lose Jalen Warren in the first few weeks of the season. But I think he's expected to play week one with the Falcons.
Maybe limited touches. It could be a lot of Najee Harris. We'll see. He's going to be a guy that you probably don't want to start week one.
Arthur Smith revenge game? Week one?
Yeah.
Already?
So he is going to unleash Cordero Patterson in his revenge game.
No, this is
He's
California.
going to say, I can beat you with
I say this
Cordero
is
Patterson,
California,
not
right?
Najee Harris, not Jalen Warren, not
desert.
George Pickens. That's it. We're going to talk about we're going to continue talking about all the roster
because we're
cuts,
headed
but that
north.
is a thin wide receiver room for the Steelers this season.
Oh,
We got to
yeah,
break that down.
Sierra
We're going to continue, like I
Nevada,
said, going through all the moves.
Maybe.
We've got a lot to go through. We're going to do that in our
15
favorite
is
time of the day,
fair
though. It
this
is the Fantasy
Mojave.
Life Water Cooler.
Mojave
Make
Desert,
sure
maybe.
coming
How
up
you done to this
next.
outfit space?
I bet you they was on their horses and got to this desert and was like, God damn.
Right.
People trying to let us.
Their career.
Ain't no trees out here, ain't no shade.
Right.
None of that shit.
You're one of the top tier artists. Now here's Tori Hope, fantasy football legend. SXM Sports.
I was gonna say we're gonna be parked early, but we gotta get up even earlier.
Dallas Cowboys reportedly have a new
That's all
member
we
of
gotta get
the
up to.
to be suiting up week one.
12:30.
12:30.
Signed with the Cowboys. Smith previously said he was
Well, what did
quitting.
you do it to?
He's third in the
All back.
pitching list. Coop also played last season for the Jets, and
Yeah, we gotta select this motherfucker out.
defensive tackle Neville Gallimore.
Right.
He was cutting for the Jonathan Taylor, who had an is raising the bar of his play. You watch him extend plays. You watch him feature and think that's a. You watch him feature and defenses and feature and look, and he's look. And that's all you can ask for him. Only played a few games. He's had a whole year to kind of watch. I'm elected as well, at mine. Chandler spoke at Sirius XM NFL Radio, which continues to recap the fallout from the roster cutdown day on Channel 88. Back for a 20th season with his 13th MLB team. Picture Rich Hill. Red Sox promoted Hill from the AAA Blue Sox.
13 got
This
them
could be
too.
a World Series preview. Orioles versus the Dodgers.
Motherfucker been with 13 teams.
Minutes for Bean. 10 Eastern play-by-play. And that will be network radio on Sirius XM 89. Orioles last night there the first game of their current series. WNBA, Caitlin Clark and the Fever
That nigga
tonight
always
was the
has- that
Sun.
motherfucker always has to go back on top.
Sirius XM NBA radio channel
Whoever that has
86.
been on 13 damn
Underway
feet.
today at the U.S. Open.
You gotta have to
Winning
go
his
back.
first set men's night seed, Grigor Dimitrov. American Madison Keys is beginning her match now.
I
Live
just got a
coverage
freeze.
all day at Sirius XM channel 380 and the Sirius XM app.
Can't get no nice car, where you gonna keep it at?
If it's happening in
Unless you got a nice car in every city.
on Sirius XM.
We are going to take a little trip. We're going to go to the Fantasy Life Water Cooler. All the headlines you absolutely need to know
looking at you, Kendall Valenzuela. Taking some shares of guys like Chase Brown and Jaleel McLaughlin, but
All right, that's one part of the water cooler. The mother.
Valenzuela, she's too nice, she's too positive. I'm trying to get her tougher. The team is terrible. Planning for her tomorrow morning.
Oh, he was talking all that shit about it? Oh, that's when he had put a perm on the other
Let's
day.
head to the water cooler from the Fantasy Life newsletter with Kendall Valenzuela and Adam Ronis.
You already know what time it is. It is our favorite time of the day, time at the Fantasy Life water cooler. Make sure you're calling in too. If you need questions that you have, if you need questions answered, 888-963-2682, the phone number to call in. Adam and I will try and give you the best advice, but 888-963-2682, the phone number, and as always, fantasylife.com. That's where you can go check out all of our articles, 100% free, but if you want the rankings, the projections, all of our tools, you want to go and you want to buy Fantasy Life Plus, but we're giving you a discount, SXM20. That's the code you need to use at checkout because that gets you 20% off. We've got the best listeners, Adam, and the best listeners need to have some of the best discounts. So SXM20 is the code, fantasylife.com. We are offering Tier 1 and Tier 2 premium subscriptions this season, and when you purchase either one of those, you also get the Road World Draft Guide, which is super incredible, getting you ready for all things drafts this weekend. The season starts almost a week away. Again, so excited for that. But again, fantasylife.com, use code SXM20 to get that discount. Adam, we've got a lot of things that we have to go through today from roster cutdown day yesterday that we didn't hit on in the first hour. Let me just say this. Zach Taylor came out and said Jamar Chase looks great, will play week 1. He answered the question just saying one word answer, yes, when he was asked if Jamar Chase will play week 1 against the Patriots. Again, we have to be super cautious, especially in drafts. We thankfully got the CeeDee Lamb deal done yesterday, which was important, but we're still waiting on Jamar Chase. We're still waiting on Brandon Ayuk. But if Zach Taylor is saying yes, he's going to play week 1, how much do you believe him?
The issue with Chase is he has 2 years left on his contract.
Right.
And Brad Evans mentioned it. These guys don't want to miss a paycheck. So it's urgency now, and he's likely going to be there, would be my guess. So I think you draft him. You do worry, I guess, a little bit about some injury concern early in the year, but at this point, he's going to have to be there.
Yeah, again, Zach Taylor asked if he's confident Chase will play week 1 against the Patriots. He just answered one word, yes. I've been continuing, just like CeeDee Lamb, didn't want to overreact too much, but we've seen in drafts and people have called us telling us, hey, Jamar Chase fell to this spot, CeeDee Lamb fell to this spot. So I think with Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb specifically, if you're looking at Tyreek Hill, that's a solid play. CeeDee Lamb and then Tyreek Hill, but Jamar Chase is still someone that I go and draft this season, even after all this news. So I'm okay, even with the skip training camp practices, even with all that. He's gone back to practice now too, Adam. I think that's important. Over the last couple days, he's been in attendance and practicing. So just another thing to keep an eye on. But hopefully we're going to see him week 1 and he's going to be good to go. Next part of the water cooler want to hit on, and again, the phone number to call in, 888-963-2682. Any fantasy football questions you have for Adam and I, just go ahead and call in. Deontay Foreman was cut. ESPN's Field Yates speculates though that this could just be a procedural move for the Browns, where he described it as cut down day musical chairs, and he will be a free agent, and then they will bring him back to the team. But I still want to talk about it because Jerome Ford, if really with Nick Chubb on pup, he's going to miss the first 4 games this season. If someone didn't hear that yesterday, really Jerome Ford would be the only viable option for Jerome Ford. So Deontay Foreman did get cut. Field Yates thinks that they're going to bring him back. Something to watch out for today. But yeah, that was a little bit weird.
If Foreman is brought back, he can still be the goal line back. It will be Jerome Ford getting a majority of the touches, and a guy that you can play the first few weeks, especially if you have a Jonathan Brooks or even a Nick Chubb, plug him in the first few weeks. We don't even know if Nick Chubb is going to be ready in week 5, and they will ease him in. There's no doubt about it. But let's not forget, too, Nick Chubb has never been a big part of the passing game either.
Yeah, exactly. we were talking, we filmed the show with Matthew Berry yesterday for LGTV, and we were talking about Chuba Hubbard because, again, Jonathan Brooks is going to miss the first 4 games of the season as well. That's something we talked about in the first hour. So it's okay to stash him, especially if you have those IR spots. But we were saying, hey, Chuba Hubbard, if we're picking between a backfield, they actually, between him and Dwayne McFarland and myself, we liked picking up Chuba Hubbard a little bit more than trying to figure out Jerome Ford, trying to figure out Deonta Foreman. And Foreman obviously is cheaper in drafts than Jerome Ford right now. But if you had to pick between 2 backfields that are kind of a little bit messy right now, just with injuries, we were going with Chuba Hubbard more.
That seems to be the case early on. What if Chubb doesn't come back week 5 and Ford potentially has this backfield for 6, 7, 8 weeks, where it seems like Brooks, there's a better chance he returns week 5? Wouldn't you say that?
I would say that, but I think that they would also ramp him up slowly. The risk of trying to get him in there right away in week 5 and just giving him this huge full workload, it seems the same as Nick Chubb, where they don't want to mess this up. They want to make sure that he's back fully healthy. And again, I gave the dates that people, they are able to come back after week 4, but then they have a few weeks period where they can get brought back to the active roster, and then after that, they've got the 21-day practice window. So we could see both of them out for a while. But yes, I do agree that we'll probably see Jonathan Brooks earlier than we see Nick Chubb. But again, I just can't imagine this Panthers team with the new head coach, with them just trying to figure everything out, giving him a huge workload in week 5 and hoping that he's going to be okay. They might ease him back in.
I think because he's a younger back, they might give him more touches early. Nick Chubb's older, second knee injury, it was an ACL, MCL, so I think Chubb could get eased in. Brooks, I think, could hit the field running. It's not the same player, but we saw it in Todd Gurley's rookie year, and that's why I think people are drafting Jonathan Brooks a little aggressively. They're recalling what happened with Gurley. He came back, the first week he had 6 carries, the second week 19, the third week 30, and they just gave him the football. That could happen with Brooks.
Would you rather have then Jerome Ford over Chuba Hubbard?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Because I believe it could be a period where it's a little bit longer, where Ford has fantasy relevance. I'm expecting Brooks to hit the ground running.
Okay, I want to see Chuba Hubbard's ADP too, because I think that has a lot of people have been drafting Jerome Ford, and again, I don't think that that's the wrong answer either. I've taken Jerome Ford in some best ball drafts, but it's just one of those things where we'll see. Deonta Foreman again, cut. Hopefully he's coming back. If they don't bring him back though, what are they going to do, Adam? It's just Jerome
Pierre
Ford.
Strong.
Would that move? How much would that move Pierre Strong up your ranks if they really didn't bring back Deonta Foreman?
They'd be a late round pick in a deep format, because if there's an injury that occurs to Ford, then he goes into a role, they probably bring someone else in. But it does seem like Foreman will be back with Cleveland today or tomorrow.
Okay. We'll continue to watch that, but yeah, super interesting. Again, Nick Chubb placed on the pup list to start the season. Same with Jonathan Brooks, who we just 4 games. They missed the first 4 games of the regular season, and then we'll see when they're able to get back. An update. I feel so bad, Adam, whenever we talk about Kendre Miller, because I don't know. The only time that Alan seems to really like talking about a player on his own team is like talking about Taysom Hill. That's the only time where we see him super happy. But Kendre Miller, the hamstring issues, he was placed, on injured reserve to start the season. This was per Josina Anderson yesterday, so he will eventually be, this was the quote, eventually be designated to return. There's rules around when you can bring players back like that. But Kendre Miller, it hasn't even been an up and down off season for him, Adam. It's just been totally down. Hasn't had great words of encouragement from his head coach, and so now you're looking at the backfield with the Saints where it's Alvin Kamara, and then someone else. Hopefully, we go and draft him, but Alvin Kamara specifically. But it's his backfield with Kendre Miller gone. Jamal
It's Taysom Hill, baby. Taysom Hill.
I keep reading about Taysom Hill.
Yeah, he's going to get
He's
some of
not really
those
gonna
goal
be
line carries. That's why you got to feel good about Taysom Hill. Just make sure you check your league to see if he's tight end eligible. In our draft over the weekend, we did it on CBS Sports. He is only eligible at quarterback, so you couldn't take him there. But I did a draft in the NFFC where I took Taysom Hill as my tight end. I got boxed out on tight end, and I said, all right, here we go. Taysom Hill, step into the lineup.
He's going to be a cheat code again this year. That's what's going to, especially, it's the tight end eligibility though. You need to look at your scoring settings because we're saying this. If he's only able to be a quarterback in your league, that's what you don't want to draft him for that. If he is able to have that eligibility as a tight end though, that's where he's a cheat code out of it. Especially, like I said, Kendrick Miller placed on IR. It didn't even sound like they wanted him on the team. It just sounded so bad because he's been so banged up, and we felt bad even saying it in the water cooler. But Alvin Kamara, and we know that if he's getting older, the age flip is coming for him as well. So if you're able to get Taysom Hill, it really just sounds like he's going to be a cheat code this year.
For sure, and Miller, yeah, it's awful. But I was taking him in early best ball drafts because I thought there was a scenario where he could get touches in his backfield because of Kamara's declining efficiency. He's getting older. Jamal Williams not really a threat, and Dennis Allen just does not like him. Talking about it, basically, he spoke of Kendrick Miller as if he's running against him for political office. Like you never hear coaches that down on a player. It's extreme. We always say, well, these coaches are always positive. They talk of these players. It was the complete opposite. I don't think he said one positive word about Kendrick Miller. Not one. It's insane.
It was bad. It just I just felt bad. I wanted to hide. I was just like, oh, this is not good vibes over there. The question that we got though at KeyDonald17 at Adam Ronas on Twitter, Jamal Williams worth the stash at all? In deeper formats, are you stashing Jamal Williams just in case if there's an injury, just go pick him up off waivers?
No, I am not drafting Jamal Williams.
Yeah, I figured. Just draft Taysom Hill. That's if there's one takeaway from the show, Adam, is it just draft Taysom Hill at all costs if he's tight end eligible?
It has to be tight end eligible. Yahoo actually added his tight end eligibility last week.
So did ESPN.
Oh, ESPN did too?
I think ESPN did too. I was talking to someone that said that. So that, again, a game changer there. It's like a little rat. He's just not going to go away. I just have to accept it.
Embrace it. Yes, embrace it. Okay.
I'll go into a draft.
Forget about it.
I have 0 shares.
They're high on him. They're talking him up. It's a new offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, coming in. And you look at the depth chart, they're going to use him. He'll be in the backfield. He'll play some tight end. He might line up wide. He'll take some snaps as a quarterback near the goal line, score some rushing touchdowns. And he's been a top 12 tight end the last 2 years. Yes, it has been a roller coaster ride because there are some weeks he's not involved. But 7 of his last 11 games last year, he had double-digit points in PPR formats.
All right. If you take anything away from the show, it's draft Taysom Hill, I guess. That's the point of the season or the preseason where we're at. 888-963-2682, the phone number to call in. We see you on hold. We are absolutely going to get to you. Just wanted to mention this because we brought it up with Brad Evans, but Kyron Williams will be returning punts for the Los Angeles Rams this season. Sean McVay said yesterday, quote, it's another opportunity for him to get touches and impact the game. We feel comfortable with that because of the confidence in Lake Corum and Ronnie Rivers being able to spell him if need be. That was the actual quote yesterday, Adam. How much should we overreact to this with, our shares of Kyron Williams this season?
I have no shares. Look, I have him ranked. I have him ranked lower than the market. I didn't move him based on this because I already didn't have him that high. And he was the guy that won me a lot of leagues last year. But there's no allegiance here. You have to pay a high price for an early second round. I think I'm somewhere more in the middle. He did return punts last year early in the season and still had decent workloads the first few weeks. But the problem that you have with it is that it increases the risk for injury. And that's the biggest issue I have with Kyron Williams. He's not a big back, 5'9", 194. We saw last year, his rookie year, because I remember I wanted to draft him late in his rookie year, and he had a couple of injuries because the coaching staff was talking him up, which is why last year I was taking him at the end of drafts or like round 13, 14, because they were speaking high of Kyron Williams and it goes. Of course, it went way better than I thought. He was a league winner, but he did miss time last year too. He missed 5 games. He had multiple injuries. He had an injury in the postseason too, where if they had continued, he would have missed time. So that's the biggest issue. The efficiency was ridiculous. We know McVay really likes him, speaks highly of him, but you have to pay a high price for him. And they drafted Blake Corum. So it's just a combination of factors, but I already have him in an area where people who follow my rankings wouldn't draft him because he generally goes in the second round. So I didn't move him. And it's really the injury factor. The Rams returned 28 punts last year. So even if he does return punts all season, and I doubt he does, this might just be something early in the year, but Blake Corum is going to be involved. I've seen beat reporters say that they've split time with the ones. Corum has moved up, and Kyra Williams will still be heavily involved. But my biggest concern is he going to stay healthy over the whole season? And it's something he has not proven. And to spend a second round pick on that when there are question marks, I can't do it.
I'm with you. I have not drafted that much. I have not drafted that much Kyra Williams because of the price. And it's the same situation with Puka Nacua, where you've got Blake Corum in there, and that's someone we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show. But you spend a third round draft pick on him in April for the Rams, and so that's something that I'm looking into. But last season, Kyra Williams averaged nearly 22 touches per game, ranked third in the NFL in rushing, despite only playing, like you said, in 12 games. So we'll see what happens there. But Kyra Williams will return punts to the Los Angeles Rams. Just something to stir the fantasy pot, Adam. Let's head out to the phone lines though quickly here. 888-963-2682, the phone number to call in. Let's go out to Chris in New Jersey. Chris, what do you got for us?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I got my last draft tonight. It's the Pros with Joe, and my Joe is extremely busy.
Adam, this is Chris. This is my partner for this league that we're in tonight. We're drafted tonight. We're ready to go. Chris, we're gonna crush it. Chris, we're gonna crush it.
I know we only have a short period of time to talk this afternoon, so I figured I'd get one of my questions to you in today during the show. The draft position and a 14-team league, I don't know. I normally would like to be toward the end of the round, get 2 of the top maybe 18 players, but this year I'm kind of thinking maybe not. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Oh man, the 14-team leagues is exceptionally tough, and there's no third round reversal item. So I want to throw that out there because sometimes in these leagues they say, okay, let's do a third round reversal and make sure that everyone can get a piece. So I think, Chris, I'm usually with you. I'm okay with 8-9, but I think in 14-teamers, especially this season, I'm comfortable getting towards the front there too. If they're able to let us pick, like maybe 5-6, just to see. But 14-team leagues with no third round reversal is kind of tough. Adam, where would you tell us to pick?
In the middle. I feel best about the middle. You don't miss out on too many runs. You'll get a good player in the first round. The second round, no matter where you pick, is dicey. I've been saying it for a while now. You never feel good about taking that player in the second round unless someone really falls. So I would say the middle.
Okay, so like 8?
Yeah, 7.
7, 8.
Because you're going to get a good player you really like there. The drop-off is maybe 9 or 10. Again, it also depends. Some people make surprising picks. I was in a draft where I think Pacheco was taking 10. It's like, wait, what? And that was a decent buy-in. It wasn't a free league. It wasn't $20. So sometimes people make wild picks.
Here we go. I'm excited, Chris. Thank you so much for calling in. Pros with Joe's is it's so fun, Adam, because we raise money for all these different kind of charities and things close to our heart. So Chris was awesome to donate and help me raise money for diabetes, and it's incredible. He was able to win, actually. So we've got that draft tonight, and we're gonna absolutely crush it. That's what's gonna happen, Adam. We're gonna take Dalvin Cook with our last pick. Just get all in. I'm totally kidding.
Well, this is your Josh Jacobs opportunity.
Chris, if you're listening, I'm totally kidding. But we'll be able to recap that draft tomorrow. Again, the phone number 888-963-2682 to call in. We'll try and get to as many phone calls as we can throughout the remainder of the show. Want to keep going through average draft positions, compare them to our projections, and maybe go through some of the toughest players to rank. We're going to do that coming up next.
College football is back. type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure, Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-381-4183. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-381-4183. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-381-4183. That's 800-381-4183. Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to see website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards. Rent is due. Bills are piling up. Just need some extra cash to help us get by.
We should do what my brother did. He went to gotloans.com and got $3,000.
With our bad credit?
Gotloans.com is different. They're one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was fast and easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan of up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account as soon as the next day. Our lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history. Great news! I went to gotloans.com and we'll have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Whoa, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to gotloans.com. That's gotloans.com.
Hello?
Got Loans.
I'm still waiting to hear from Eric. Because I don't know, because she was going to fill in if Gina didn't play. Did you want, I think, is that the only one he was waiting on? Okay, so I'll double check with Eric and find out. She's all excited. So I'm sorry. Sorry, girl. I don't know. I got to hear from Eric. He might have heard from Gina.
Actually, did she see the video of Bubba with her?
Of what?
Of Bubba. I sent it to her message.
Oh.
When he was a baby, I was trying to get him to say pop pop, and he said mama.
Are you sure that wasn't
Well,
I think
Bubba.
that was JoJo.
That was Bubba.
Oh. Did you see the video Daddy sent? DJ trying to send
He ended up saying mama. What?
he said she only got the picture of him.
Son Mexican. The only reason I sent it to her because I was trying to get him to say
Oh.
pop pop, and he said mama.
Oh, he said look on Messenger. You look just like JoJo, right? Daddy said he said mom. Oh, for sure. So, I didn't get it. How has your side been feeling? Water helps, huh? Make sure you drink plenty of water. Okay. Obviously it helps. Okay. I'm assuming you already had your Red Bull today? about it is that the problem is not you drinking the Red Bull or caffeine. The problem is you don't drink enough water to flush that stuff out of your system. And so Red Bulls, as well as like sodas and stuff with caffeine in it, is not a way to hydrate your body. And so when your body gets dehydrated, it don't act right. You know? So you've got to drink plenty of water. You should be able to. It should be set up the same way that we did the online draft last year on Juwan's team. Should be set up exactly the same way. So if Eric does need an extra person, maybe you can have Kiana help you. I said maybe you can have Kiana help you pick the team. Well, because we weren't sure if Gina was going to. Like I said, I'll double check, but if Gina's name is already on there, I'm going to assume she's playing. But I'll make sure I let Eric know for next time, so that, and Juwan as well, so that both of them know that she wants to play, and that might extend out how many teams we have. We might be able to get up to 10 teams on the NOS league, and so then that'll be more of a payout at the end of the year. Right. So that's what I'm saying. We can probably have her coming in on the NOS league. I know we need to find out what order we're picking in the family league. I think he just does it random, and then it picks it like an hour before or something. Yeah, tell her don't take it personal.
So it's okay to be assistant coach.
Daddy said it's okay to be assistant coach. Daddy was an assistant coach for years. But tell her we'll get her in next year for sure. Even if me and Daddy have to do a secondary joint team, then we'll have 3 shots at it, Daddy. Then we'll have to draft from both phones and an iPad. Unless it was a live draft. Well, I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. All right. Have a good day. All right. Love you.
Brand new easy trip out there on his way up. Easy trip working.
That's good. Still out yet.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
like July, he was going QB4, QB5. He started to go a little bit later than that.
I see him right now, looking across all the ADPs, still going on ESPN QB5, pick 47. Same thing with
That's
Sleeper, pick
too early.
47. Listen to this. Pick 46 on Sleeper, pick 43 on Yahoo, and then 70 on Underdog. A little bit different. I can throw in NFFC. He's going pick 49, and then FFPC, pick 53. He's
And NFFC, 6 points for a passing touchdown. FFPC is 4. But I'm just in the draft that I was in. GST, he went round 8, pick 8. And Kyler Murray went ahead of him. And the quarterbacks were pushed back. I mean, Lamar Jackson went around 7. So that's not going to happen in most leagues. So you do have to take it with context. When you're in a league, though, where people have a similar sentiment and wait on the quarterbacks, that tends to happen. And at some point, you have to decide, okay, time to jump in. And I did that in the FFWC of Beat Out of Bonus League a couple weeks ago. I got Patrick Mahomes around 8. People don't believe me, but that is a format where it's 4 points for a passing touchdown, and you have 2 flex spots, so people wait on quarterbacks. I tend to do it as well. At a certain point, though, you have to measure and go, this is insane. Because Patrick Mahomes, to me, can throw 40, 45 touchdowns this year. Like, he is going to go off. This is the best set of weapons he's had in years. They clearly are driven to win the Super Bowl in 3
I want to make sure that I have my stud wide receivers and my stud running backs before I even touch quarterback and tight end. You know what I'm saying? If I see a run on tight end, then we'll have to get one. If I see a run on quarterbacks, I'll have to get one. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't plan on picking my second tight end or my second quarterback until the last 2-3 rounds. Because there's no need for it. I need to stock up on my wide receivers and my running backs. That's what I'm doing.
Are very different as well, and people are not afraid to push players up the board and take the guys they want.
Because I have to draft different in the family league than I do in the NOS league. There's only 8, but there's 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, 1 tight end, and 3 flexes. In the family league, it's 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and then 2 flex spots. So I have to make sure that in the first 4 rounds, I have 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs. Then I can smash on 2 more wide receivers for my flex spot. But I don't want to have my second running back with a bullshit ass motherfucking player. So I'll probably do wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, running back. But it just really depends on what our order is. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm at the end in the family league, then I can do wide receiver, running back. If I'm in the middle, I'm gonna have to decide the higher player. You know what I'm saying? If Breece Hall falls to me, like if you pick Apple and Breece Hall falls to me, or Bijan or Christian McCaffrey, oh, I'm taking them. And I plan on doing 2 wide receivers first, so I can get those 2, like I said, those 2 top 5 wide receivers. That's what I'm planning on doing. Because Christian McCaffrey should be gone, Bijan should be gone, and Breece Hall should be gone. So then I can get 2 wide receivers. When they come back around, I'm gonna try to snipe Holly for her fucking one of her running backs that she likes, either Raheem Mostert or Isaiah Pacheco. Like I said, I'm all about taking that. We either great would be if we both win.
Right.
That's money. That's all the money. We get all the money out of it.
All of them, put it in the bag.
Right. We'll take that thing. Yep.
Game action that went down. Stay tuned to Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio for the plays you missed every Monday on Elite Sports. Exclusively brought to you by the all-new 2025 Infiniti QX80. The next chapter in three-row luxury has arrived.
Once upon a time, there was an SUV where everything for every passenger feels just right. Not too loud or too quiet. Introducing the all-new three-row Infiniti QX80 with individual audio zones that isolates phone calls to the driver's seat. Discover every just right feature in the all-new QX80 at InfinityUSA.com. Available feature.
Oh, they
Cannot
know,
your
they're
phone
busy today,
or
Daddy.
sound. See owner's manual for details.
Never. Well, we had that clusterfuck at
Catch
the.
up on everything you've missed
Yeah.
on Elite
Came out
Sports
with
with
you
Jeff
fuel.
Nance right
Great.
now.
But then we had that clusterfuck coming out of there just to get on the freeway.
It was a good parking situation. You had to go all the way down.
Right.
Back
Then
up.
I went to the wrong place. Then I couldn't quickly park my trailer. Then I had to pull over and stop because the bills didn't fucking match the temperature. Jesus. All those delays. It's going to be to the point where literally as soon as we park, I have to do on duty of like a couple of minutes, like 7 minutes,
You go
and
right in the
immediately go on the sleeper.
Yeah, you know, so I mean that isn't even early. That's fucking
Not even going to take it out.
dumbass late.
Right. So we have to go to bed by getting up at 12:30. Yeah, getting up at 12:30. We can leave by 1:30. So as long as we're parked by 3:30, we should be good, and we'll be parked probably right at 3:30 based off whatever traffic we run into on the 99. And then get up at 12:30, so we need to be to bed by 4:30. That ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. We might be lucky to fall asleep by 6:30, 7 o'clock, but that's just gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to close this one, close the other one, take our medicine as soon as we part.
Yeah. Wonder where Daniel went today.
If anyone's listening, with a link to Folgers, what are we gonna have to do? So if Ami and I beat you in the GST league, not only is that just gonna be absolutely incredible and going to happen, like, do you have to, drink Folgers for the whole playoffs? What are we doing?
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But beating me, what does that entail? Who has more total points? Because we are in different leagues.
Yes, more total points.
Okay, well, your draft was a little softer.
Interesting. No, it was not.
It
Do
was.
not do this.
It
Do not
was.
do this right now. It was not. You put us at 12.
I didn't put you anywhere. It was a random generator.
We overcame so much
Random.
that draft.
So much
There's
precision.
There's such good players on our team. We
AI
crushed
picked that
it.
shit.
No, your team came out good. I'll give you credit.
Interesting. You don't wanna put some folders. I'll just send it to you for Christmas then.
Okay.
It's fun.
That might be the worst Christmas gift I've ever got. But hey, but that counts, right? That's what they say.
That is so mean. That cannot be the worst Christmas
Really?
gift
What could be
ever.
worse than that?
What was the other thing I was gonna? Socks? What do you
Socks.
mean? Yeah, that's
It's
stop.
better than Folger's
Oh
Call.
my god, you're ruining my chances here for a sponsorship. Don't listen to him. Folgers is so good. I have people literally every single day sending me pictures of their coffee and their Folgers, and it absolutely makes my day. So I'm with you, everyone.
They're
No,
just
they
trying to
don't.
suck up to you.
No, they
That's all.
don't. No, because they own it and because they love it and they know it's good coffee.
It's photoshopped. I've seen them. They're
Not.
all photoshopped.
It's AI. AI photos.
Oh, they got the
Incredible.
photos down.
All right, well, we are getting you ready. We are drinking Folgers, me, not Adam, but it's fine too. He's Sabrina Carpenter songs, which makes it even better.
Have you
But
actually
again,
done
fantasy.
What have you done to me?
I know, it's incredible.
No
Ugh.
food,
We
no
have best
services.
friends. That's what happens. When you're,
There it is right here.
Wait till we go to the concert. You'll know every
You got
single
stock
word
up so
that
you take your ass up there.
Right.
I don't like what's happening here.
I do. The people love it. We're here for the people. But make sure you go again, fantasylife.com. Use code SXM20. That gets you 20% off Fantasy Life Plus. So if you've been kind of on the fence about it, thinking, do I need this? Yes, you absolutely do, because that's what we use every single day on this show. If you want projections, rankings, all of the cheat sheets, and the Roto World Draft Guide, go ahead and go to fantasylife.com. Tier 1 or Tier 2 gets you all of that with the Roto World Draft Guide included. So SXM20, 20% off. We have an article on the website right now of our favorite sleepers. I wanted to go through some names that, again, we've talked about a lot of players these last few months now, so we've kind of hit on everyone, but with drafts coming up, we want to make sure we get even more in depth here. So let me ask you about the Houston Texans backfield, because I've been making fun of the Cowboys, but the Houston Texans backfield, I mean, we have Cam Akers sitting here as one of Fantasy Life's staff's favorite sleeper picks. Who was is Pete Overton, who we will starting next week as well, which we're super excited about, but he has Cam Akers right now as one of his favorite sleeper picks, and I'm just curious because Dameon Pierce still on the roster, still someone I'm still hurting from drafting Dameon Pierce last season. It just hasn't been fun. He has not lived up to the expectations, especially in fantasy football, that we would have hoped for. If Joe Mixon were to go down, it would be absolutely horrible. But who's your second guy on the Houston Texans in the Houston Texans running back room?
I can't believe this. I think it's Cam Akers too. I am shocked at how good he has looked here in the preseason. And you don't want to overreact, but we've seen Dameon Pierce just not a fit in this system, and it continues in the preseason. So Akers has moved up the rankings. I'm not looking to target him, but if you get into a situation where you're with a lot of savvy players and a lot of the running backs that we've talked about, the backups that could play in a big role, then you could look at Akers in the final rounds and lead with 20 rounds, because right now it appears he is the backup.
That is, if you would have told me last year that this is how we would be talking at him about Cam Akers and not Dameon Pierce, I would have said you're lying. But it's true. We're pretty convinced at this point that he is the locked and loaded RB2 in this offense behind Joe Mixon, which is kind of scary. And Dwayne was all over this with projections and going through the utilization report, but now Cam Akers finished the preseason 24 attempts, 112 yards, 8 receptions for 61 yards, 1 touchdown. And again, it's preseason, so we don't want to overreact too much to that. And is it very hard for us to get excited by saying Cam Akers is the RB2? Absolutely. But at the same time, you just have to know that it's probably not going to be Dameon Pierce, which is so unfortunate. I remember drafting him in Scott Fishbowl, maybe it was last year, and I was excited and ready for it. But if Joe Mixon were to go down, then Cam Akers could go into find himself in a serious workload. So, like you said, one that last pick in your draft, maybe someone that you can pick up off waivers, but I really can't believe we're saying that. It's crazy.
If Mixon were to go down, then CJ Stroud would have 40 to 45 touchdowns. They'd probably be ass heavy.
no kidding. It would be bad. So Cam Akers, one of the favorites for Fantasy Life and our favorite sleeper targets. I've got a couple more that I want to go through. I want to go through 2 wide receivers that probably aren't on a lot of people's radar, but they absolutely need to be, especially if you're drafting this weekend. We're going to give you those names coming up next.
Hear every match of the U.S. Open on Sirius XM. Novak Djokovic hopes to follow up a golden performance in Paris with his 5th U.S. Open title.
On the solar panels.
Standing in his way is Carlos Alcaraz, who looks to capture a 3rd consecutive Grand Slam. Listen to Sirius XM's live coverage of the U.S. Open on ESPN Extra, Channel 81 in the car, and on the all-new Sirius XM app. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/fantasy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping is prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/fantasy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. With 0 copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/fantasy. That's hims.com/fantasy for your free online visit. hims.com/fantasy.
$6.99! I can't believe it. They're running the legendary play from Domino. Red Swiss, loaded tots, medium, 2 topping pizza. At Domino's, order now. You can choose any 2 or more mix and match items for $6.99.
I'll be there to get my pizza. Don't even worry about that. Yeah. Hopefully it ain't expired.
Is hot sleep keeping you awake? The Tempur-Breeze mattress is designed to keep you feeling cool and comfortable all night long. Because only the Tempur-Breeze is made with our one-of-a-kind cooling technology that pulls heat away from your body to help you sleep cool. No more sweating all night or blasting the AC. Just deep, undisturbed rest. Shop our Labor Day sale and save up to $700 on select adjustable mattress sets only at Tempur-Pedic.com.
Everything you love about Fantasy Sports Radio, but on social media. Find us at SiriusXM Fantasy on Twitter and Instagram.
You dominate your home office and family leagues every year. Now it is time to take your game to the next level. The FFPC is the place to play fantasy football this summer. No salary caps, no DFS, no new formats to learn, just the pure drafting fun that you've always loved. FFPC is home to not one but $2 million grand prizes. Draft in the FFPC main event or shoot for a $2 million grand prize in the FPC Championship today. Lead your teams to victory and chase down those 7-figure payouts, or check out FFPC's best ball tournaments, dynasty leagues, and exclusive contests. Drafts are filling every single day at myffpc.com/radio. And when you go to myffpc.com/radio, you get $25 off your first team. That's myffpc.com/radio. Begin your pursuit of millions today and get $25 off your first team with $1 million at myffpc.com/radio.
Fantasy football is life. And this is Fantasy Life on Fantasy Sports Radio.
Emma Monsuela, Adam Ronas getting you ready for your drafts, getting you ready for the first game in 8 days, Adam. 8 days away from kickoff. We are so dang excited. Could not come soon enough, but we know you guys are just getting into some drafts this weekend, finishing up. Wanted to continue going through the Fantasy Life staff sleepers that we had up on the website. FantasyLife.com is where you can go and check that out. Again, SXM20. That is the promo code that you need to use if you're looking at purchasing Fantasy Life Plus. Gets you 20% off because we've got the absolute best listeners right here on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio. Brian Thomas Jr. Jacksonville Jaguars. We know that your guy, you love Christian Kirk. We know that by now. And Evan Ingram, surprisingly to me, I guess, is one of my most drafted tight ends in on Underdog, which is I'm totally fine with that because I believe Trevor Lawrence is going to have a better season than what we saw last year. Just the team as a whole is going to have a better season. But if he can put it all together and take the next step, Brian Thomas Jr. is one of those players that I've seen slowly creeping up draft boards on him, where if you can't get Christian Kirk, if you don't get Evan Ingram, I think he's a solid play to go and get later on in the middle of your drafts because he has the potential there to have a really good, solid season with Trevor Lawrence.
In the GSD draft over the weekend, I took Brian Thomas round 9, pick 9, and instead of taking the quarterback. So that's where I sacrificed, but Thomas has...
How much you love him?
Yeah, he looked really good in the preseason. I'm with you. I think Jacksonville's offense bounces back in a big way. I think Trevor Lawrence is that a solid QB2 in super flex leagues or a backup if you maybe take a Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams as your one, and you're like, okay, they're a rookie. What if there's some bumps in the roads? Lawrence is a solid quarterback to pair with them, but Thomas is ascending and he's moving up draft boards and he's definitely a guy that I want a piece of. I still think Christian Kirk will have a good year, but Brian Thomas stretches the defense. I like him, and he's relatively he's a little bit, he's still cheap. Some leagues you're starting to see him move up, but round 9, round 10, that's where we were getting Nico Collins last year. And I'm not saying he's going to have a year like Nico Collins. That's where you want to take a chance on these guys. In a lot of leagues, that's going to be a bench player for you at that portion of the draft. Even for me, looking at my team now, wow, yeah, he is essentially, I drafted him as a bench guy. That's in a league with 2-3 receivers and 2 flex. When you look at my receivers, I'm going to have to make a tough call every single week to decide whether to get him in.
It's a tough problem to have. I don't feel that for you at all, but I am jealous because Brian Thomas is just one where he, looking even back in college of what he could do, 17 touchdowns in the season was both by a power 5 receiver since Devontae Smith. Not sitting here and saying that that's who he's going to become or be, but it's just really exciting, especially when you look at the projections. We have Christian Kirk, 116 targets, which is fairly obvious, followed by Thomas at 95 and Gabe Davis at 80, where we're looking at just the wide receivers. So again, we had you and I did a roundtable today too, and I asked you guys, hey, who's a quarterback that could seriously outperform their ADP? And for me, when I looked through it, it's Trevor Lawrence, and I have not drafted a ton of Trevor Lawrence in redraft. I've been doing a lot of him in best ball when I get Evan Ingram and I try and make that stack happen. But where he's going to, I think Brian Thomas is one that hasn't been talked about enough this offseason.
That motherfucker sounds sick.
Oh, you're a cop?
Yeah.
Oh, we loaded? You never waited? Must have been light on.
10,000 pounds. Like 10.5 or something. It's not very good.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another edition of FTM Fantasy here on Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio. I'm Chris Meany at Chris Meany. Catch all my work over at FTM Fantasy. Of course, Jake Seeley with us here today at All In Kid. You can catch his work, his rankings, his giraffe kit over at The Athletic and the Ball at All In Kid. Check out all of the details of the rank. Jake, what's up? Happy Wednesday. What's going on? Draft season. Happy Dalvin Cook Day. Happy Dalvin Cook Day. We can start there. We're going to talk about some of the cuts, of course, what they need for fantasy and what they need for real life NFL. There's some backup running backs now that are kind of solidified and being the backups. Some of them because of injuries, others because of cuts. Yeah, actually a lot really to dive into in this show. And if you have any questions at all, of course, we're here for you guys for the next couple of hours. But we're going to dive into all the news from yesterday, all the cuts, teams getting to 53, Dalvin Cook, Sean McVay talking about Kyron Williams, and has everybody freaking out here on a Wednesday. 888-963-2682, 888-963-2682 at the Sirius XM. We're just about a week away from the NFL season. Here, if you have any keeper decisions you need to make or any fantasy football strategy questions or whatever it may be, we're here for you. So a lot of roster cut stuff here today. We're going to get into some wide receiver fades because we're always talking about targets. We've talked a lot about targets. You and I have chatted a lot in your podcast about just a lengthy tier at the wide receiver position. So we're going to get into a couple of players that are going in that range that we don't have a lot of shares of, and we're going to bypass them. But let's start with Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, why not, right? He signed with Dallas. He tried it with them earlier in the week, and you were talking before we got on about how it looked like he was in pretty good shape. According to reports, he looked really good in the workout session with the Dallas Cowboys. So they've just turned 29 actually this month here in August. Now joins the backfield of Ezekiel Elliott's worst running, one player who was cut, and Rico Dowdle. So a three-headed, quote-unquote, monster backfield in Dallas. What do you make of this news? Dalvin Cook back in the NFL here with the Cowboys.
I figured out what Jerry Jones was doing this entire offseason, like not getting these contracts done. He was still in 2020. That's what it was. He's like, I have 2 top 10 running backs. Ha everybody. No, let's also forget Guzman. Still actually on. Yeah. But I just said there's 4. They're not there.